You heard about Obama coming out saying that, he wouldn't get away with some of the stuff that Donald Trump is doing right now?
He's correct. Barack Obama was a token Negro, and he knows it. He would have never been able to do what Donald Trump did. Barack Obama was made president for two reasons: make the black community safe for homosexuality, and go into black Africa and make the resources safe for American corporate exploitation. That was it. He had a gay agenda and he had an African resource agenda. And that was it. That was it. Barack Obama built AFRICOM in Africa, African Command, U.S. military bases strategically placed throughout Africa where the resources are. And now we have a president in Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, along with President Chiani and President Goita of Niger and Mali, respectively. They have built the Sahel Alliance, trying to make Africa free for African people. And now this House General Michael Langley, who's now the commander of AFRICOM, he's putting out misinformation about Ibrahim Traore, the number one Pan-Africanist in the world. I'm number two, but he's number one. And they're putting out misinformation about Ibrahim Traore, saying that he's using the gold of Burkina Faso, not for the benefit of his people, but for his own personal gain. Nothing could be further from the truth. That brother wears the same kind of clothes every day, eats the same kind of food. He did not accept an increase on his pay when he became president of the country. Extremely humble, just like Thomas Sankara. I believe he might be the reincarnation of the great Pan-Africanist Thomas Sankara, who actually changed the name of that country to Burkina Faso, who was murdered by his own best friend over power. And so what I'm seeing from Ibrahim Traore and General Goita and General Chiani is exactly where Africa needs to go. Ibrahim Traore and those other two brothers, all three of them, the Trinity, they are the most important black men in the world right now, because what they're doing is creating a reality that could potentially reshape how the world operates on behalf of black people in years to come. But they got a lot of enemies, and they even have house Negroes in Africa working against them. So we got to keep them brothers, in their prayer. But that AFRICOM that they're going to try to use to overthrow our brothers in the Sahel, that was put there by Barack Obama. He made AFRICOM more popular than it had ever been before. And I do want to say this on the Donald Trump piece, Art, the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency that he had Elon Musk running through. Donald Trump is going to go down in history, the evil racist that he is. He's going to go down in history for being the first president in American history who had the courage, Art, to expose federal corruption throughout the entire country and shut it down. No other president ever had the courage to expose federal corruption.
All these units are deployed across the country alongside other defense and security forces, as well as volunteers for the defense of the nation. There is also the restructuring of the National Police Intervention Unit, which you know as an elite unit that has now been transformed into a group. There is also the creation of the National Police Operations Center. In terms of recruitment, thousands of police officers have been hired. Since Captain Ibrahim Traore took office, in 2 years, we have seen the recruitment of more than 4,000 police officers. So that's a record number. Many infrastructures have been built and others renovated since Captain Ibrahim Traore's arrival. In terms of training, we have witnessed a major strengthening of police skills through various types of training, including intensive and specialized courses. At one point, there were petty squabbles over certain issues concerning the police. With the arrival of Captain Ibrahim Traore, all of that has disappeared. We have seen a strengthening, a tightening of unity. The police forces have joined together with all the other components of the defense and security forces, as well as with the volunteers for the defense of the homeland. And today, when you go out into the field, you can no longer tell the difference between the various components. People operate in unity of action, and it is truly in a spirit of brotherhood in arms that things are happening on the ground. After 2 years, everything the police have acquired in terms of logistics for the fight against terrorism, honestly, is a figure that is truly impressive. There used to be this petty squabble over arming the police. Some people thought that the police were not entitled to a certain type of weapon. So the police officers were deployed, but without the necessary means to ensure either their own safety or the safety of the population. It wasn't until Captain Ibrahim Traore arrived that all the rules were broken and all those considerations were set aside. And today,
The thing is, a large part of the money in our wallets comes precisely from the exploitation of Africa over centuries. Not only, but a lot comes from the exploitation of Africa. So we need to have a bit of common sense. I'm not saying generosity, but common sense. Justice to give back to Africans, I would say, what was taken from them, especially since it's necessary if we want to avoid the worst convulsions or difficulties with the political consequences that entails in our